They're a really good group to work for, working with endangered species, and they're so individual. There's so much to learn. It's mind blowing. There's too much. Hi, I'm Meg. I am a keeper here at the Cotswolds Wildlife Park. I look after the reptiles, so that includes all the lizards, snakes, tortoises, as well as all the frogs, the amphibians, the insects as well, and also all the fish, so a big variety of stuff. We currently have about 9 species of frogs here at the Wildlife Park. We've got a few different types, so we've got some tree frogs and we've got some poison dart frogs. So we've got Mexican leaf frogs, which are some of my favourites. They're really, really cool. They're big, fat, chunky frogs. They come from Mexico, as the name suggests, and they're really interesting because they're a waxy frog. So they like it really nice and hot, and in the wild they undergo long dry spells. So this waxy coating on their skin helps them to survive that. We also have mossy frogs, which we've got a really good breeding history with. We've got some babies and some adults at the moment, and some tadpoles on the go. They are from Vietnam, China, that kind of area, and they've got this amazing camouflage that makes them really look like mossy, so they blend in really well on like cork barks and moss and stuff. And we've also got Borneo eared frogs, which are just next to me here. They're really cool. They come from Borneo, Indonesia, those kind of forests. Again, they're a rainforest species, and they've got massive, massive eyes, and they've got these funny little pointy bits on their head, which gives them the name the Borneo eared frog. We've also got cinnamon frogs, which are little tiny tree frogs. They are like a browny reddish colour. They're really pretty. They're only about that big. They lay their eggs in rotting bits of wood and little tree cavities where there's little pools of water, so it's quite tricky to breed them. We're just trying to work on that. We've also got coronated tree frogs, which are from Costa Rica, Honduras, all those kind of rainforesty areas. They were recently upgraded to near threatened, so they're an endangered species as well, and they have this cool little crown of spiky things around their head, which gives them their name. Then with poison dart frogs, we've got a couple of types from South America, Brazil, those kind of Amazon rainforests. We've got dying poison frogs, they're called. They're bright yellow with blue legs. And we have a bumblebee poison frog as well, who's this lovely bright, striking, bold black and yellow pattern, which gives him his name. These guys are really interesting. In the wild, they're so brightly coloured as a warning to warn off predators that they're really poisonous, not to eat them. But in captivity, because we feed them just more of an artificial diet, they don't develop the toxins as much, so they're much more harmless in captivity, which is really cool. So amphibians are the most endangered group of vertebrates in the world. There's about a good third of them are threatened with extinction at the moment, and their main threats at the moment are habitat loss, for agriculture, for building, for all sorts of things, and there's also a massive risk of infectious diseases. Amphibians, they have this slimy skin that they use effectively to breathe, so they're really at risk of pathogens and everything. They're really good indicators of environmental health, so anything that comes in, like the big one at the moment, which is chytrid fungus, it was discovered in about 1970, it really threatens their skin, so it can wipe out whole populations. There's about 170 species have been wiped out by this fungus alone, so it's a really big threat at the moment. There's loads of work being done to help these guys though. All around the world, institutions, zoos have come together to form this amphibian ark, which is really, really interesting and cool. This amphibian ark around the world is a load of zoos coming together to coordinate species breeding programs. So it helps, there's a load of leading scientists and stuff working to figure out which species are most at risk, which ones are most likely to be able to be saved in this way. There's teams of scientists still going out in the field finding frogs that we thought were extinct, discovering new species, looking at how populations are in the wild. This is so important to me, I think, because frogs themselves are so useful. It's amazing the things that they can do, and they're so interesting. It would be such a shame to lose such a variety. We've lost so many already, and there's a risk of so many more becoming extinct in the next century if we don't do anything, so it's well worth doing.